in my experience, men are traumatized or very scared of the feeling of fullness. And on the other side, women are very scared of the feeling of emptiness. They have the wrong idea, or generally they have the wrong idea of what emptiness is. But emptiness is not empty in the way you imagine, just like modern physics or modern astrology has told you, not astrology, not astronomy has said space is empty. Space is not empty, it's full. It's a different kind of fullness than that kind of fullness. But it's a fullness nevertheless. So women are very scared of that emptiness, just like men are very scared of the principle of being full. How do I contain such fullness? Women are very scared of, well, how do I handle my emptiness? But it's not empty. It's full of emptiness. But emptiness is something. It's space. So that's a form of power. It's the polar opposite power of they come together. So both the man and the woman have to learn how to master their respective power. The man is fullness as we traditionally understand it, and the woman is mastering emptiness, which is another form of fullness, which is space fullness versus concentrated full. Does it work? So that's also it's quite an experience because it's so big. In both cases, for the man, it's so intense. When you concentrate power, it's so fucking intense, and the power is so big and wants to reach so far and wants to do so much now, almost instantly. It's so intense. And I'm not a woman, so I've not experienced this, but kind of, sort of. But I experienced it with them. It's like, well, it's when the woman expands from her little crystallized idea of herself, and she expands and expands and expands and expands and seems to be everywhere. Which means, well, I thought I only had I have one little cupboard for all my existence, and now my room is the cosmos. Well, what the fuck? Who the fuck am I? And what does that mean? And how much cock can I receive? And what am I going to birth? So that's an intense experience. The experience of emptiness. It's not empty, it's full of space. And this is full of concentrated energy. So, when both man and the woman start to relax in that experience instead of resisting it, well, something a little deeper emerges. Because somehow within those energies, whether it's the spacious one or concentrated one, as if things are harmonized and relaxed, well, there's you. Whatever you is. But I can tell from experience that both men and women are very intimidated by their respective energy, and men are terrified, like the intensity of most guys jack off every day, if not even more than once a day. They can handle 2 seconds of their own energy because they can't handle what awakens when they have sexual energy inside of themselves. The depth of their own desire and how grand it is. Forget, I want to conquer the world and be rich. This is nothing compared to what's really possible and what's really in your erection if your erection is full. And on the other side, you have a woman who's experiencing literally the same thing, but I don't want to say opposite, but kind of differently. Where in that immensity of space, there's so much creative potential that when I say infinite creative potential, I can birth anything. And how not to get lost in it. And how not to be intimidated by such a potential. And what happens if I birth the wrong thing? Mm-hmm. So, anyways, I find it, thank you for the conversation. I find it a little challenging to use the exact words to describe an experience that is lived. I hope I did a decent job. I'm going to improve, but I feel like I can. But anyways, the point is, it's easier to write poetry about this kind of stuff because you can communicate the feeling that I'm sharing without having to worry about exact precise words. So anyways, I'll improve.